Hey guys, welcome back to Living Tiny. It's been a while. A lot has gone on. But today we're just going to do a quick update on the solar. As you can see behind me, they're up on the roof now. So I'll give you a quick look at that first, and then we'll go from there. So, to give you an idea, on here, well, we got some leaves up there right now, but whatever. It is solid mounted at the front all the way across, and then there's 2 or 3 arms here at the back. There is brackets here in the middle for the for another set of links. I just haven't made them yet. They are hooked in parallel. They're 310 watts each, mono panels. I picked them up off the buy-in sale. They were brand new, so we'll see how they go. So far, they haven't given me any troubles. They're hooked up in parallel, and then we put all together. So I can give you a walkthrough. So as you guys originally saw, we ran from the roof, it came down the wall and then comes in. It comes into here. Now what I did, it's a little bit different than what a lot of people have done. Because there is 620 watts on the roof, I wasn't sure if the 10 gauge wire would be enough to carry it. So what I did is I upped them. So it goes from 10 gauge to 2 10 gauge positives and 2 10 gauge negatives turn into this 4 gauge or 2 gauge. I think it's 4 gauge though. And then we ran them from the roof down into here. Then it goes into the shutoff. So that means now that shutoff shuts off all the panels. When you want to turn the panels right off and shut them right down, you just flip that switch and the panels are shut right off. Then they come in, and as you can see, they split again. So what I did here, ignore this. This is for the light switch. The 4 gauges come back in, and they break back into 2 10 gauge wires. So we have your 2 10 positives and 2 10 negatives going into the 60 amp MPPT Power MR charge controller. For the money, this one is good. I would like to do an upgrade later on because this doesn't give me, it gives me all the info and it's really easy to set up. But I'd really like to get a little bit higher of a setup. Maybe one that gives me Bluetooth so I can actually monitor it. I will have a physical monitor, so it's not that big of a deal, but whatever. What I did grab this for is because there's 2 inputs, 2 outputs, or there's 4 inputs and 4 outputs, which made putting the wires in, because some charge controllers, the bigger gauge wire doesn't fit. So that made this a little bit easier. Then I got my 2 outputs that come back over into a splitter again, right here. And then they split off into a set of, I believe those are 0 gauge wires. The 0 gauge wires then follow along to my 60 amp breaker. And then the breaker comes up to the batteries. And then this battery is in series with this battery. Then they come over, they hook to this main power that goes to the inverters. Now, the reason why I did it this way is everything has a cutoff, basically. Everything in this system has a cutoff. I can shut the inverters off by themselves. I can shut the power from the panels off. I figure this gives us a safety. I'm pretty sure I probably should have a breaker in front of the charge controller itself. But because I have an on and off switch, and when I'm not here, it's not on actually. Because again, it's not being used that much because I'm just using it for work. But because this farm is where I'm parked here at this farm, I physically don't have the ability to be plugged into hydro. So I had to set up the solar so I could use the hydro from the tiny home to finish the rest of the work in the trailer itself. That being said, I will continue. So both batteries I picked up used. They are 170 amp hour lead acids from Power Safe. Let's see if I can get you in here maybe so you can get an idea. They were picked up when I checked out the website. They were like $1,400 a battery. I picked them up used for $150. They all checked out, so I'm good with it. We have one 3,000 watt modified sine wave, and then we have one 1,000 watt pure sine wave. And then the power bar here is actually my power coming in from outside. So if I plug in the trailer to an extension cord, I basically just unplug the wires that come to the inverters and plug them into the power bar, and then I can run everything off the wall. How this setup is done, the 3000 watt is going to run my water heater because it is electric. It's a 1500 watt, and it will run that electric fireplace. So to give you an idea on how it all goes is I trip my breaker, which then turns on the controller. As you see, nothing's coming in. I then turn the panels on, and then things start coming in. Today is rainy and overcast, and my batteries are full, so it probably really won't charge a whole lot. Then I can come over here, turn that one on, turn these on. As you can see, 14.6 volts, so they're pretty much fully charged. And then with this whole setup, like I said originally, if I plug everything in, as you can see, the fireplace works. Now that fireplace is 1250 watts. That fireplace is strictly for backup power only, or heat, sorry. It was never really meant to be the main source of heat. It's in the TV unit, and I wanted to make sure that I could carry it in case I needed it. Because who knows if you're gonna wake up in the morning, it's cold, you flip that on. It's set to heat 450 square feet. This is only 53 square feet, this tiny home. The floor space is literally 53 square feet. So it's going to do more than enough to cover everything when it comes to this place, to take the chill out or anything like that. Not just that, there is going to be a little tiny wood stove, and the wood stove will be the main source of heat, or at least that's what it's going to be used for. As you can see, the fridge is in, and I'm framing the counter and everything, and then the closet's going to be going in next. I got the power over there all wired up and in. I just have to finish the plugged ends here. As you can see, they're still dead ends. But overall, it's been going. Actually, you can actually see I have my TV, my computer. I have everything in here ready to go. There is still work to be done, which it's getting there. But like I said, this was all originally done because I needed to be able... let's see here. Needed to be able to do this. Without the ability to be able to cut and everything else and use my tools out here, I wasn't able to finish the rest of the build. So I had to get the panels on as soon as possible. They're up there really, really, really well, actually. Like, if you grab it, it shakes the entire trailer. So, like, really, I don't think I'm going to have any issues. But who knows, right? Like, I am definitely not a pro when it comes to any of this. This is all just research that I did when I originally made, like, my plans for this. So I know the inverters will cover my use. Battery wise, that's 364 amp hours I have. They are lead acid, so that means I only have about 175 amp hours, which again, I don't know if that'll cover everything I want. I would like to switch to lithium. The problem is I do live in Ontario, Canada, and I'm worried during the winter we're going to drop way below zero, and I really don't want to take the chance of getting too cold and not being able to charge the batteries or causing harm. I know the MPPT and all that stuff has the temp protection, so I probably wouldn't hurt it, but at the same time, I can't take the chance that things are going to be too cold and I'm not going to be able to charge my batteries, where at least lead acid will continue to charge at a slower rate when it's cold, but at least it does continue to charge. The only thing I'm worried about is if I'm not in the tiny home on a regular basis during the winter, lead acids can freeze, and that would be something I'm worried about. So I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm going to be spending the winter in here yet. So if I'm not spending the winter in it, then it's not such a big deal. But right now, the goal is just to finish getting the build done itself, and then we're good to go. But it's definitely been a lot of work lately. Oh, I didn't even show you. like I said, I'm going to be doing another video. We got the window framing up. We got the walls and the roof coverings all up. You won't be able to see all this when it's all said and done. I got one window in the back left to do. This stuff has to be covered yet, but you're not really going to see it. And then, of course, like I said with the bed, this is the bed cover. It's on hinges, it closes, and then this is all going to be boxed in. You won't see any of this either. So I'm not super worried about a lot of it. The weather again has been a little bit rainy lately. So it's been tough to work, but just knocking it out one at a time. And I guess that being said, if you guys have any comments, if I screwed anything up or if I should have done something maybe a little differently, I'm kind of old school, I guess, in that sense. I was a car stereo installer, so that's why I went with these splitters. I figure these splitters would carry a lot of wattage and a lot of power. So that's why I did the two 10s into one 4, and I know the 4 will carry it without having the voltage or amperage drop off for this range. Because from what I was reading on the website of the solar panels, supposedly 10 gauge wire is only good for like 4.5 feet at this wattage or something. I don't know. If that's the case, it doesn't make sense because, like, really, how do you do that? Like, it wouldn't be possible. So I don't know if it's just a misprint or if something else like that, but I figured this is safe and easy. Really cheap to run it right now because you can pick up, like, these are car amplifier kits, the wire is, and they're literally were $20. So, like, and it's expensive to buy, like, heavy gauge wire right now. So either way, if I did something wrong or if you have an opinion on something, I'd be great to hear it. Because I'd rather not burn the place down if I can. But, yeah. So, that being said, like, comment, subscribe. There is going to be some merch soon. I'm working on it. The person who's going to help me with the merch is a little busy right now. So, yeah, we'll get to it as soon as possible. Anyway, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Sorry it took so long. The next one will be me going over more of the interior and the work that we have done. And then, yeah, well, I'll just catch you up after that point. But I wanted to do one for the solar setup here because people are interested. So have a good one. Talk to y'all later.